Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV. I'm Vedant Agarwal. Our top story, well, Arshdeep, the T20 champion, has spoken exclusively to NDTV and he says it's a happy and proud moment after he received a rousing welcome at the Chandigarh airport. Take a look.
अर्शदीप चंडीगढ़ पहुंच चुका है। इस समय अर्शदीप हमारे साथ है, तो आइए बात करते हैं। तो सर, कैसे देखते हैं टीम इंडिया की परफॉर्मेंस? कैसे देखते हैं टीम इंडिया?
बहुत बढ़िया लग रहा है जी, बहुत बढ़िया लग रहा है, बहुत बढ़िया परफॉर्मेंस आई सारे जी ते बढ़िया रिजल्ट्स मिले।
क्योंकि आपकी एक फोटो भी वायरल हो गई है, यहाँ पे पेरेंट्स को आप बहुत रिकॉग्नाइज कर रहे हैं। आज लग रहा है कि पेरेंट्स ने इतना बड़ा किया है बलिदान, तो तभी यहाँ पहुंचे हैं।
जी, सारे सैक्रिफाइस पेरेंट्स ने देते हैं तो उन्होंने वापस खुशी देना मौका मिला, मैंने तो बहुत खुशी हो रही है।
तो आपके कोच भी साथ में हैं, उनसे भी बात करते हैं। तो कोच को क्रेडिट दे रहे हैं आज पूरा?
काफी क्रेडिट जाता है कोच साहब को जी, शुरू से लेके अभी तक साथ में है, काफी हेल्प की है एंड काफी क्रिटिसाइज भी करते हैं जब गलत करता हूँ, तो काफी खुशी है उस चीज से।
आपको कैसे लग रहा है?
बहुत प्राउड फील हो रहा है, बहुत खुशी है।
तो आज लग रहा है कि जो हार्ड वर्क किया है उसका पूरा रिजल्ट है, पूरे पेरेंट्स का भी सैक्रिफाइस है।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, जो हार्ड वर्क कर रहा है जितना उसका फाइनली एक रिजल्ट मिला है, क्योंकि हर कोई यही चाहता है इंडिया को रिप्रेजेंट करना, इंडिया के लिए ट्रॉफी जीतना, सो वो आज मिल चुका है।
माता जी, आपसे भी बात करेंगे। कैसे लग रहा है आज कैसे फील कर रहे हैं?
बहुत बढ़िया फील कर रहे हैं, बहुत ही मतलब ऐसे बयान नहीं कर सकते ये वास्ते, मतलब कोई मेरा ख्याल नहीं कोई अखर बनया होगा ये वाली खुशी बयान करने वास्ते, बहुत मान महसूस हो रहा।
तो कोच साहब आपसे भी बात करेंगे, क्योंकि लगातार आप इनको ट्रेनिंग देते रहे हैं, और कैसे लग रहा है आज जब इतना बड़ा प्राउड मोमेंट आई है आपके?
बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है जी, बहुत अच्छा लगा। आप गिर ना जाओ, मेरे यही डर है। बस ठीक है, मैं दूंगा बाइट आपको, अर्श भी देगा।
हम तो अपनी ड्यूटी कर रहे हैं, लेकिन
बहुत जुड़ी
ठीक है, वो तो एक लाइन आप इसके लिए अर्शदीप के लिए?
बहुत अच्छा, अर्श ने बहुत अच्छा किया है जी, बहुत अच्छा किया है।
बस एक लास्ट पिताजी से बात करेंगे। पिताजी, कैसे फील कर रहे हो? आज पूरा प्राउड मोमेंट है पूरे देश के लिए।
आप दर्शकों को आगे दिखाओ और पीछे दिखाओ, मालूम पड़ जाएगा दर्शकों को कैसा है। बहुत अच्छा माहौल है, बड़ी खुशी का मौका है।
आपको जो सेक्रीफाइस किए हैं आज लग रहा है कि वो पे हो रहे हैं पूरे?
हाँ जी, सभी का बहुत परमात्मा की बहुत कृपा है।
So this is the Arshdeep family. They are also getting a huge fan following here at this Chandigarh airport, from where we are reporting at this point of time, and the family says it's a proud moment and we are celebrating each and every moment of Arshdeep's success. It's not Arshdeep's success, it's the team India success, but they say it's the team spirit. Finally, this is the proud moment for the whole country. With Vijay Rajesh Kumar, this is Gurpreet Singh China for NDTV, Chandigarh.
What a proud moment for Arshdeep's family and his coach. But moving now to the big political headline, well, the two Telugu chief ministers in a huddle in Hyderabad. Chandrababu Naidu's first visit to Telangana after his spectacular electoral victory in Andhra Pradesh. The focus in this keenly watched meeting was certainly on interstate cooperation. In fact, also matters of bifurcation were discussed at this crucial meeting. Now remember, there are deep political undertones to this meeting as well. They discussed national politics as well, given the fact that Chandrababu Naidu is of course a key part of the coalition government at the centre. Revanth Reddy of course also emerging as a crucial leader in the opposition space. The two of them of course discussed what the two Telugu states can really offer as far as national politics is concerned. In fact, NDTV gets you an inside track of this crucial meeting as well. The Deputy Chief Minister of Telangana spoke exclusively to my colleague Umar Sudhir. He says a resolution to the bifurcation issue as well as interstate matters that have been pending for the past 10 years is in sight. In fact, a resolution is expected in the next 2 weeks is what he says. Take a look.
A very good beginning being made between Telangana and Andhra Pradesh with the Chief Ministers and his team of ministers meeting. I have with me Deputy Chief Minister of Telangana, Mr. Batti Vikramarka. Good beginning made. Obviously, this is a road that has been long pending, many pending issues.
Of course, yes, there are many pending issues which are related to various departments. But somewhere we have to find out some way out, to have some roadmap to sort out all these issues. So what we thought, the meeting by both the governments, headed by both the chief ministers, along with other cabinet colleagues, to have some kind of a roadmap. For that, first step is to have state level, chief ministers level committee by both the states to have a meeting in a span of 2 weeks. Let them sit on the issues which are pending for more than a decade. Let them discuss and debate, deliberate. Where all they find some solutions can be sorted out. The issues are not sorted out at their level, then it can come to the ministers level committee. The ministers level committee also cannot resolve, then it can come to chief ministers level committee. Chief ministers level committee also, if they are not resolved, then anyway we have federal state, federal country.
Does it also mean there was a time when
Government of India, as it is, there are some institutions which are trying to solve the problems of both the states. Both the states can ask the center to resolve these issues and take the thing.
you have been part of that team where Andhra Pradesh, United Andhra Pradesh was powerful with 42 MPs as well. Now the coming together of the two states, also does it give you more ability to negotiate with the center as well, because there are common interests. There are common interests for which you may require central's intervention or its...
Common interests, okay. Common country interest is also... Anyway, any day, we are always for that. But primarily, our interests, it. The very purpose of bifurcation of the state, the then combined state, is in the interest of the state, Telangana, many issues. All those issues have to be addressed.
10 years, of course, there was no going forward in this relationship. Now the personal equation of the two chief ministers also actually helped, though there was a lot of gossip about, oh my God, they have relationship, but isn't that also something that creates trust?
I'm sorry to say there is nothing personal relationship here. Our interest is Telangana state interest. Their interest is their own state interest. When we sit together, our people's ambitions and aspirations will definitely make us to drive towards certain issues.
And moving now to the other big headline, the Prime Minister will be visiting Russia on the 8th of July. This is the Prime Minister's first visit to Russia since the Ukraine war broke out. In fact, a private dinner is also will be hosted by President Putin once the Prime Minister arrives in Russia. It's going to be a crucial diplomatic visit. Multiple geopolitical messages also being sent out with the Prime Minister's visit to Russia. This is the Prime Minister's second foreign visit after he took over as the Prime Minister for the third consecutive time. In fact, he will also be going to Austria. This is the first time an Indian Prime Minister is going to the European nation in nearly 4 decades. And moving now to the other big political headline, the Mahayuti in a huddle. After the Maharashtra rout for the BJP, the NDA in Maharashtra is down to the brass tacks. This, of course, as the state goes to polls later this year. It's going to be one of the most challenging states for the BJP. But the Mahayuti tried to project a united face with Devendra Fadnavis, Eknath Shinde and Ajit Pawar present at the meeting. In fact, Eknath Shinde said that Devendra Fadnavis stood by us like a rock. But what really was on agenda, my colleague Anuj reports.
The meeting started a couple of hours late, but they went through it very quickly. It was just the major dignitaries, that is the Chief Minister Shinde, Deputy Chief Minister Fadnavis, and of course Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar, who spoke on this occasion. There were several things that these people mentioned, but three major highlights of the meetings were the most crucial ones. Firstly, all of them repeatedly put efforts and stated that the workers should not call themselves the BJP workers, the NCP workers or the Shiv Sena workers here on, but they should call themselves Mahayuti workers, right? This comes after a regular and a very constant criticism by not just the opposition but several other sections of the civil society as well, which stated that there is a lack of unity in Mahayuti. The Mahayuti failed to put forth a united face after the Lok Sabha election results were announced, and as a result all the three major leaders asked their workers, their spokespersons to only speak in unison. They also stated that if there are any differences, they should first talk to their leaders and then speak out in open. And most importantly, one thing that again all the three leaders stated was that there have been several provisions and schemes that were introduced by the government just last week in the budget, and then they asked their workers to take these schemes to the last common denominator, to every person, every person in the state, and make sure that all the good things, all the positives of these particular schemes are told to them. Because according to them, the major reason why the Mahayuti faced the loss in the recently held Lok Sabha elections was because of quote-unquote false narrative, you know, a word which has been regularly used by especially Devendra Fadnavis.
And looking at some other news now, well, in Jammu and Kashmir's Kulgam, back-to-back encounters taking place. In fact, 2 security personnel, 2 army jawans have been killed in the line of action. This as there was a fierce encounter between security personnel and terrorists. In fact, 2 terrorists have been gunned down as well. This is a very challenging topography for security forces to carry out any operation. But of course, very unfortunate that 2 soldiers have died. My colleague Nazir Masoodi with the latest.
The first encounter started in Mauda village, where security forces received a tip-off about presence of at least 2 militants. In the shootout, 1 army soldier was killed, and that operation is still underway. No success about eliminating militants so far. But then there was another operation which was launched jointly by the army and Jammu and Kashmir police, in which a large group of militants was reportedly hiding in Frisal area of Kulgam district, and drone footage shows 4 bodies, and police have confirmed that 4 militants have been killed, but 2 more could be still hiding because firing is also coming from the target site as well, so they could not retrieve the bodies. But 1 army soldier has been killed in this encounter as well. So 2 army soldiers have been killed, security force personnel have been killed in these 2 twin encounters in Kulgam. As we were talking about for last few months, theatre of militancy shifting to the mountains of Jammu, particularly Pir Panjal region, and also the Chenab Valley. We see it is back in South Kashmir, which was a hotbed of militancy for several months. We have seen really dip in militant incidents, but this clearly shows these twin encounters that militants have been trying to regroup.
Of course, larger questions and concerns remain as this entire belt is turning into a terror hotbed. With that, we'll take a short break now. Come back for more on the other side. Welcome back. The latest on the alleged murder of the Tamil Nadu BSP chief. In fact, the BSP protests across the state. Chief Minister M.K. Stalin has assured a fair probe. The police say that there is no political angle as far as this death is concerned. Take a look at this report.
The chilling murder of BSP's Tamil Nadu chief Armstrong has shaken Chennai. The former councillor was hacked to death near his under-construction house on Friday night by a 6-member motorbike-borne gang, some allegedly disguised as food delivery agents. The police have arrested 8 suspects and 10 special teams are investigating. Investigators say it's a revenge killing in retaliation to the murder of Arcad Suresh, a rowdy in Chennai last year. It's not clear yet if Armstrong had any role in that murder.
Was Armstrong involved in the murder of Arcad Suresh?
See, it will come out clearly in the investigation. But on the face of it, you can see that there seems to be some strong angle pointing towards this direction, if at all there is a retaliation.
The murder triggered protests by BSP cadre demanding a CBI probe. AIADMK chief EPS slammed the ruling DMK, calling this a shameful reflection of the law and order in the state. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi said he was confident the Tamil Nadu government would bring the culprits to justice. But the incident has given the BJP an opportunity to attack the DMK.
Tamil Nadu Chief Minister is controlling his police department and Home Ministry is with him. He is unable to control the police, or he is unable to control the law and order situation. Rahul Gandhi is going to Hathras, but he don't know where to the Kallakurichi. He is not visiting the Kallakurichi.
Condoling the death, Chief Minister M.K. Stalin said the investigation would be expedited and perpetrators would be brought to justice soon. But Kanimoli evaded a clear answer.
நாடு முழுவதும் சட்டம் ஒழுங்கு சரியில்லாத ஒரு சூழலிலே அதற்கு காரணமாக தேர்தல் நேரத்திலே பிரதமரும் ஆளும் கட்சியினரும் எந்த அளவுக்கு மத காழ்ப்புணர்ச்சியை தூண்டக்கூடிய வகையிலே இது எல்லாம் மக்களை பிரித்தாளக்கூடிய அவங்கள வன்முறைக்கு தள்ளக்கூடிய அத்தனை விஷயங்களையும் செய்து கொண்டிருப்பது ஆளும்.
Just 2 days ago, an AIADMK functionary was murdered in Salem. In May, a Congress leader was found dead, burnt in Tirunelveli, amid allegations of murder, but no breakthrough yet. Last month, 67 people died consuming illicit liquor in Kallakurichi. A major Hooch tragedy and a series of murders targeting politicians have triggered questions on the efficiency of Tamil Nadu police. The opposition targets Chief Minister M.K. Stalin. The ruling DMK says the issue is being politicized and that Tamil Nadu ranks among safe states according to NCRB data. In Chennai with Suresh, Sam Daniel, Findy TV.
An absolutely chilling murder there. But moving now to a story we focused squarely on NDTV. Well, the Assam floods and the situation remains grim. NDTV reports from the ground.
The riverine stretches of the lower Assam region and the homes and the farms on it are almost all gone. In Barpeta district, hundreds of people have sheltered in the small stretch of highland along with their livestock. 39-year-old Jubair Ali is one of them.
ये बताइए ये मेरा घर था 1 महीने में इरोशन के कारण मेरा घर टूट गया है अभी मैं एक दूसरी आदमी के घर में रह रहा हूँ मेरे अभी कोई घर नहीं मेरे फैमिली में मेरी 2 बेटियां है माँ है फैमिली है दूसरी के घर में अभी उसमें भी बहुत पानी है इतनी से पानी है हम उससे सरकार अभी एक शिविर में रह चुके हैं रिलीफ कैंप में.
Across Barpeta, over 1 lakh people in over 170 villages have been affected.
ইমান ভয়ানক আছে আর যেটো পানীৰ অৱস্থা আজি প্ৰায় 20 বছৰ 25 বছৰ ভিতৰত ইমান পানী হোৱা নাই এই যে মথাৰীখন সিং অৱস্থা হৈ আছে হেই নহয় এই অঞ্চলৰ মানুহ যে আহি মথাৰে ঠাই লৈছে গৰু ছাগল সব লৈ আহি উপস্থিত তাকো চাবলৈ আহা নাই এই অঞ্চলে নহয় বহৰি মাদ্ৰাসা বা এই হৰিপুৰ অঞ্চলে নহয় একেবাৰে যেটো আমাৰ তাৰাবাৰী চৰ অঞ্চল যেটো বুলি কোৱা হয় এই গোটেই চৰ অঞ্চলটো প্লাবিত হৈ এনেকৈ হৈছে ভয়াবহ হৈ গৈছে মানুহ কতো থাকিব না শিবিৰ বাতি দিছিল সেই শিবিৰবিলাকো পানী তলত আছে.
At Barpeta's Kalgachia, the Beki River is in full spate. And has washed away a part of a state highway, interrupting a key road link. The Brahmaputra river system in Assam drains an area of 56,480 square kilometers. And currently, hundreds of villages in the area are out of bounds. With Ratandeep Chaudhary in Guwahati, Bureau Report, NDTV.
And finally, Puri is gearing up for the Rath Yatra. But why is it special this year? Well, grand preparations underway. NDTV gets you a sneak peek into the preparations. We leave you with this report.
Puri is already bustling with devotees as the biggest Rath Yatra in the country, the oldest Rath Yatra in the country gets underway. Now this of course is one of the most attended festivals in India. This is a huge festival and it takes place every year in Puri, and you can see the Raths are ready for Lord Jagannath, his brother Lord Balabhadra and his sister also Subhadra. So obviously these are new Raths made with what we say Talkat in Bengali, and of course these Raths are ready to roll out across along what is the path that is called Baradanda, and of course they will go from here to the Gundicha temple. Now this year is very significant, and it's significant for multiple reasons, and I'll of course share those reasons with you. But before that, let me just show you a glimpse of the temple. This is the famous Jagannath temple, and of course this is the abode of Lord Jagannath in Puri. Lakhs of devotees come here every year, and you can see now the final preparations are going on to pull these rocks from here and take them ahead. Now 3 new chariots or rats are constructed every year, and these are uniquely adorned by local artists. And there are of course Lord Jagannath's Rath, which you see now. The center one has 16 wheels, and then of course Balabhadra Mahaprabhu's Rath has 14 wheels, and Ma Subhadra's Rath has 12 wheels. So these of course are very unique preparations and unique, also decorations here